But all right, enough of that. Let's start the show here in Gainesville. Interesting comments here from Billy Napier heading into the scrimmage that the Gators had this weekend. But the key to it, and this is something that we've seen Lane Kiffin kind of reiterate, and we've seen other coaches across the SEC, Shane Beamer, Josh Heupel, among many others, utilize the transfer portal. And this is something that we all have to realize. I mean, some people bitch and moan about players going in and it's going to help the haves and not the have-nots. I mean, this is going to be a farm system. But at the end of the day, in the SEC, what it's going to allow a team like the Florida Gators, like the LSU Tigers, that's the perfect example of a roster in transition. Normally, in years past, you'd say, well, we can't judge this guy till year 2, year 3, year 4. I mean, some schools, this has been out the window for a long time in the SEC, but some schools, 5 years we give this guy. And I'm not saying we need to, have the final verdict on Billy Napier at the end of year 1, but what the transfer portal allows him to do, evaluate what he's got in spring. And in years past, we're just trying to scheme around all these holes that we got on the roster. Not anymore. Now they can go out and attack positions of need, and that is something that Billy Napier is making no secret about. Hell, they're down to one tight end out there. Basically letting any tight end in the transfer portal know, if you're interested in the Florida Gators, we're interested in you. So let's kick it over to Billy Napier, who makes no bones about it. The Gators will be adding players. They've already added several. They're going to be adding more this offseason after spring.
Give 5 walk-on scholarships this spring, right? So, and we have spots available, right? So, University of Florida, you can anticipate us being very aggressive in the portal this spring. We need players, and I think the approach is going to be, acquire as many good players as we can at any position, right? So, we're thin, and we need help in a lot of different spots. So, I think we're approaching double digits, if that makes sense. Okay, so. I think it's fortunate that we have that opportunity, right? It's something I'm very thankful for.
Hey, if I'm a Gator fan, I love this because our coach, he's so meticulous. We don't necessarily want to call it the process because I think Nick Saban, they've got the patent on that right now. But, hey, Billy Napier went through it. He knows what it's about. He's going day by day trying to make this the best program it can be immediately on the field next season, and it's not there yet. So, hey, spring, this is what it's going to start becoming. This is the perfect evaluation to figure out where we're at. And again, we got to remember here, we're in early April. May 1 is the deadline this is a new thing for players to go into the transfer portal. And they've got to, I don't know if they've got to announce where they're going by May 1, but I believe they've got to be in the portal by May 1. So by the end of spring, we're probably going to see a lot more guys enter the transfer portal, and a lot of these SEC schools like the Florida Gators who are out here advertising that they are in the market. They need help. They need players. Just keep your eye on the Florida Gators as spring exit. We'll see, based on who they add, that it, of course, will give you another indication of where they feel like the current crop of players either not getting it done or maybe they just don't fit the system, what have you. But that'll be something to monitor in Gainesville. But, of course, the Gators are only going to go as far this season. I don't care who they add in the transfer portal unless Bryce Young jumps in the portal or something like that. You're not getting all-American type guys unless they're coming from a lower level, more than likely. But what's it going to take for Florida to really excel on the field this season? It's going to take buy-in from Dan Mullen era players that are bought into what Billy Napier and company are teaching them this spring, this offseason. And based on what Justin Shorter said, the veteran receiver who his college career could have been done with, he made the decision to return, wants to correct the wrongs. Last season, we all know what a terrible disappointment that was. Justin Shorter says every player on the roster is pissed off about what happened down there in Gainesville.
I feel like you had a chance to sort of be the feature guy.
A lot, but I say it's not even about that. We got a brand new coaching staff. you got players that are hungry, you know, and just hate losing. You know, like me, like just think about last year, every single game about last year that we lost. You know, it just like makes me so angry and like upset. Where like everyone's working so much harder. So I really say just as like all of us, like every single player is just like so pissed off from like last year, man. Like we all just trying to come back and just get at it, really. So it's not even about that.
To make it productive.
On that field right there, you know, we go out there every day. Everyone gives, you know, all their effort. You know, DB's going hard against me. I'm going hard against them. You know, so it's just really just like working out every day and just putting all in.
Hey, so I just figured Florida fans would really appreciate these comments, and if this is the sentiment that's echoed in that locker room, Florida Gators are going to be just fine this season. But, of course, these days we can't mention the Gators